An expensive jig rod just so you can feel bites? Feeling bites on a jig? Huh. Ready to run the guns? Time for blast off. Let's go. Hey guys, Todd here with you. Welcome back to Bassin 101. Truck talking rant. Well, I wouldn't know if it's a rant, but I got to put my 2 cents in on this. I saw a video. I know this is airing a few months down the road, so a few months ago, yesterday, I saw this video of Fish the Moment. Just happened to run across. It says, why you're not catching fish on a jig. Oh, this should be interesting. Flat brimmer's going to tell me why I'm not catching fish on a jig. I can't. What's his name? Johnny. I can't say that. Dude can fish. Yeah, sometimes he's a video gamer, but the dude can fish. He fishes a lot of different reservoirs, stuff like that. I can't take that away from the guy. I just can't stand flat brim hats. Been doing that since I seen Bill Dance do it. Because I was knee-high to a grasshopper. Or knee-high to a crankbait. I don't know. Either way. He was showing off a $150 rod. He says if you don't at least spend $150 on the rod, you're never going to feel the bite on a jig. Dude, 90% of the bite you get on a jig, you're not going to feel anyway. You just pick it up, something feels heavy, or you'll see your line swimming off. Rarely do I ever actually feel a hit on a jig. And I've felt hits on jigs with the expensive rods that I built, which is more than the $150 he's talking about. And I felt them on 5.5 foot pistol grips from the 80s. Come on, dude. You got to pay attention. When you fish a jig, you got to pay more attention to a jig than you do a worm. Not saying you don't have to pay attention to a worm, but with a jig bite, you really have to stay concentrated. I will agree when he said, just get a reel that's going to do the job for you. I agree with him on that. Just get the reel that's going to do the job for you. Make sure it's a decent quality reel. It's going to last you a while, and just go for it. But this guy says, if you spend $90 to $100 on a rod, it's just not going to be good enough to feel them bites. He almost sounds like a trust fund baby, doesn't he? I'm not slighting the guy, okay? I'm just showing my thought process of what I heard him say. I don't think you need a $150 rod to fish a jig. All right, guys? You don't. Whatever rod you like to throw and it's comfortable for you. I mean, even if you're the kind of guy that likes to throw an ugly stick, which I can't stand ugly sticks, anyway. But if that's the rod you like to throw a jig on it. But you got to pay attention. And one thing I highly disagree with him on, fluorocarbon. Guys, if you haven't understood the fluorocarbon debate yet, go to a creek or a river where you've got very little flowing water, or if you've got access to a swimming pool. Throw a jig on fluorocarbon, and then throw a jig on monofilament, and you're going to see a massive world of difference. That monofilament, because it floats, is going to allow you to hop that jig. Fluorocarbon sinks all the way to the lure, and now you're dragging it right across the bottom. And good luck hopping it, because if you try to hop it, 9 times out of 10, you're going to bury it down in the ground as you try to hop it. And as far as getting hung up, fluorocarbon is notorious for getting a jig hung up. Monofilament, you're less likely to get that thing hung up, especially when it comes to rocks. I don't care who you are. And I know a lot of you guys on here are going to agree with that. Something else I disagree with him on, he was talking about use the heaviest jig that you can get away with. I preach on here, if you've got a jig weight, everybody has a jig weight they're comfortable with. I don't care if it's 3/4, half, 3/8, quarter ounce, 1/8 ounce. I don't care. We all have a jig weight that we throw 90% of the time. I will say this, if you're fishing cover, heavy cover, like brush, you're pitching that jig down in brush, there's a takeaway on using a heavy jig. When it comes to using heavier jigs, what's going to happen is you're going to get hung up worse in a heavy brush pile than you will with a lighter jig. It's going to take you longer for that lighter jig to fall through everything, but it'd be easier to work it back out of than a heavier jig. A 3/8 jig in a brush, I learned this in the river, a 3/8 jig in a brush pile will come through. A 1/2 ounce jig in a brush pile will get you hung, and you have to go get it. Never fails. But that's my rant. That's my little takeaway on Fish the Moment, what he said about it. You don't need the $150 rod, in my personal opinion. Get your reel that works for you. Braid or monofilament, the best way to go. And fish the jig that works for you. Fish the weight that you need to build your confidence. So I don't know. That's just a little, I wouldn't say it's a rant, and I wouldn't say it's a correction. And again, guys, I'm not slighting the guy. He knows what he's doing. I mean, yeah, I give the guy credit. He's good. He's a smart dude. I just disagree with his premise on jig equipment. That's just me. I don't know. I'm a goober. What do I know? With my infinite wisdom, that means bupkis. So until next time, remember, new techniques are trendy, but bass never change. May the Father bless you and keep you in Yeshua's name, and as always, fish on, man.